I'm the keynote speaker here. Oh, sort of mind. There's rules.
Dude, if that was me, I would have done a Bert Kreischer. Got me gut out.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
You want me to wear a suit?
Dude,
I'm going to take my top
Dude,
off.
we should do a podcast where you just take your top off. Episode 100. Stay tuned, guys.
Oh, shit.
3, 2, 1. That was the worst clap of all time, man.
So slippery. My hands just went like that.
And we're live, boys. As you can clearly see, Doc has taken the spot of G today.
Let's go.
Want to explain?
Nah, it's G got kicked out, so. Nah, G's visiting family in a different state, so
Yeah.
he's off this one.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it.
He'll be back next week.
Yeah, next week, boys. Welcome to episode number 16 of Hanging with Hardcore. Today we're going to be talking about an interesting topic that, I think you guys will find really valuable. So far, if you've been watching our podcast, it clearly means that you're interested in personal development, which means that you are about to be spammed by the algo. The algo is going to get you, boys. Right?
She's coming for you.
She's coming for you. And that means like a lot of marketing is out there to take your money. And the reality is less than 10% of that marketing or whatever they're trying to market to you is the good shit.
Yeah.
So it's really difficult to know who to listen to and who not to listen to. So it's important to have filters in whatever type of information that you're trying to consume for your personal development journey. So we've seen a lot of people that we've come across get stuck in this process of, finding the bad shit and getting caught up in the bad shit, not realizing it's the bad shit until it's too late. So what we're going to talk about today is some of the things to look out for so that you don't get caught in that on your personal development journey.
Yeah, man. There's just so many red flags, that these marketers do. And it's very hard to see at the beginning because a lot of the time when you go on your self-development journey, it's like you always think about like positivity and stuff like that. Oh, I got a very positive outlook on the world. No one's out there to take my money and steal from me. Because you start reading those type of books first. But then all the marketing and self-development, there's just flooded with scammers. And the biggest one that we always say, they always have like really expensive courses that actually provide no value. They might teach you some things, but it's like we say like a million times, it's that clay advice stuff. It doesn't actually give you financial results.
Maybe it's good to go over like what is clay advice and what is solid brick advice.
Yeah.
How would you describe it?
So clay advice is like you're teaching someone something, but it's not like in the right order. How we're always saying like you want to teach it like it's the alphabet. You want to start with A, B, C, D, E. And that's how we've structured our whole entire podcast. We're doing the A, B, C, Ds. And so many people, they always message us, hey, when are you going to start talking about making money and investing and all of that? Because we're known for that, in the real world. Well, it comes at the right time. We're still doing the start first, because without that character, none of that stuff's going to matter, with the investing. And so, but what does everyone else do? They're like, oh, with this little hack, you can increase your sales or you can increase your investments by 10% a year. And they're just going straight to that money-making part to catch people on board. Yeah. And then it's just like one tiny little silly hack that doesn't even really add any value. And then you're missing like a million other flaws in your system. And because they're not teaching it in the right order, it's actually not valuable. It seems on the surface level like it's going to help you, but it really isn't.
Yeah, they give you like the terminology of like how to speak in the industry, whatever industry that is, but they don't actually tell you how to operate.
Yeah,
or like how to think about certain things. They just give you the real surface level stuff. Me personally, I remember starting this journey. I'm very optimistic in the world, right? I try and like do and get excited about things very, very easily, especially in the beginning. So I remember watching all this new marketing that was being hit to me and just getting like rattled with it because there's so much of it and everything is like so good. And now we obviously see, hey, you can make $1 million in 3 weeks as a red flag. But back then I was like,
that's good shit.
Give me 6 weeks
exactly.
of $1 million. This is easy shit.
If you don't have like that experience in this space, it's really easy to get sucked into that shit.
Oh yeah, man.
And like those marketers are so good because like they're actually really good marketers. We've got to give them that. They're really good at
They're
marketing.
skilled at that.
They're really good at marketing. And the reason why they're so good is because they hit those pain points.
Yeah.
And the sad reality is like most of the people's pain points is money problems.
Yeah.
So like, oh, here, I can solve your money problem with this simple step.
Yeah.
And like the character comes in of like, you want to solve your money problems through instant gratification, meaning you don't have that character.
Yeah.
So if you have the character, you're going to realize you can't just get money instantly.
Yeah.
Then you won't fall for it.
And
100%.
Yeah.
talking about the pain points, it's always like, oh, so you've got no money. You don't need money for this investment. You know, like it's always like how you can use, you know, and then grow your wealth so big. Oh, you don't have much time. You don't need much time. It's always those two. You don't need time. You don't need money.
Yeah.
But what you actually need is you need both of those things. You need a lot of time. You need a lot of money.
I remember starting in your head, just like, you don't have a lot of time. You're right. I don't have a lot of time. You don't need time. Let's go. I'm fucking sweet.
That's like, that shit, what?
I'm really sweet. Well, then you realize that actually what ends up happening is you get yourself into a worse position, like taking these courses and stuff like that. And I don't know, a lot of these like marketers, they brand themselves as like experts or business people in that specific industry. When like what's an example? Maybe let's I don't know, take drop shipping, right? Like because we've used that as an example recently. They may have done a little bit of drop shipping now and then, but their main revenue actually comes from selling the course on how to drop ship.
Yeah.
They don't actually drop ship. They just market the dream of drop shipping.
Yeah.
It's so much easier to sell a course as well than drop ship an actual product.
Yeah.
What's the course? The course is pure profit margin. It's just a PDF file that they just copy and pasting to everybody.
They just use their own words on someone else's course that they got scammed with. And we're like, oh, this is how it works instead. Instead of actually learning, oh, the world's a little bit fucked up, they actually just jumped on the horse and started doing the same thing.
Their drop shipping is actually the course.
Yeah.
So if you think about it, their product is a digital product.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's their drop shipping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you go? It's a touchy moral, I reckon.
Yeah.
It's not a good way to do business, because like the way we think about business is what? Help as many people as possible, add as much value. You know, it's a value transference. If you add more value, you get a little bit of value back, then everything's going to work out in the end. But if you're just doing that, you just taking, and you're not actually doing anything for society.
You can only get away with it for so long, right? And then eventually the market will realize that you're, you know, a shitty person for giving them a shitty product. Then your reputation decreases, and then good luck doing business again with your name.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like that Bernie Madoff, right? Like Madoff, surname Madoff.
It's ruined.
It's ruined.
Yeah,
because he fucked over so many people.
Yeah, you can make a quick 1 mil, 2 mil, but it's not about making the quick 1, 2 mil. It's about that generational wealth, you know, like, can you make 50 million? You know, that sounds crazy, like just saying 50 million, but if you can make money slowly, it's like pretty much guaranteed that you'll have 50 million. Like when we get to the investing stuff, it's just based on compound interest, basic mathematics. And that's what I hate about these courses. They're like, hey, this course costs $10,000, but we will provide you more than $10,000 of information. But they don't say, like, is this path in life even for this person? They don't talk about self-awareness like we do, all the hard work that, you know, like with the 10x rule, it's going to take 10x the effort to get those results. It's going to be way harder than you think. So whatever they're marketing it to us is like really easy. Probably you need to apply the 100x rule to whatever they're saying, because, you know, they're saying that it's going to be super easy. It's going to be way harder than that.
Yeah. I don't like when people lie to people about just like basic truths. The reality is this shit is hard. It's actually really, it's quite difficult, especially when you don't know what you're doing. When you work out how the game works, it becomes considerably easier. But up until that point, it's really fucking hard. You got to put in the work.
And they're just selling like the quick pill. You know, hey, you want abs? Buy this pill. You know, buy this fat burner or whatever it is. Hey, you want luscious locks like me? You know, just take. take this pill, even though it's just full of bloody side effects. Your testosterone starts dropping.
I'm
And
gonna
all
like
this
new,
stuff.
new product for hardcore is if you
Luscious
started
locks.
selling hair products. You started selling wax and shampoo and all
Do you
that.
want to see how good we are at marketing? Dylan's gonna sell hair products.
For the
But
mustache.
it's the same thing about the course, though. They're just saying, hey, you want to get rich? Just buy this course. It's as simple as a $10,000 transaction. It sounds so easy.
Yeah.
But then if you get caught in that cycle, and we've found people that, they do one course with great intentions. They find out it's not for them. They waste time and they waste the 10,000. And they've saved up that 10,000 and they're back at zero. Then they start saving up that money and they're looking to buy that next course and they keep on getting back at zero. Whereas what we're going to talk about in the future is like, you really need your first investment to work. Because if you can just put like $10,000 away, invest it in something like the S&P 500 or a great investment that will be around forever, eventually it will compound to millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like if you can invest just $10,000, by your retirement, it could be like literally in the realm of like 5 million plus.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
how big it can be.
People don't realize that they can actually do that with $10,000.
Yeah.
So, like when we eventually do get to the finance podcast, we will literally do a live, calculation on like while we're talking, showing you that 10,000 does equal millions of dollars in the future.
Yeah.
It's possible.
She's just math.
Yeah, it's pure math.
Yeah. The one I like to talk about is if you can find a way to make 20% per year, which it takes a lot of time to get to that stage, but it is doable. If you can make 20% on your money every single year for 50 years, then $10,000 once off at the beginning, in 50 years' time will turn into 91 million. So like I was saying just before, like $50 million is like, it's a lot of money, but it's actually not that much. $10,000 can easily turn into 50 million.
Absolutely.
It just takes a lot of bloody time.
Yeah, it doesn't take 3 weeks. It takes time.
Yeah.
That's a question I was going to ask is like, when you first started the journey, or even now, when you're looking at things, like what's your most hated like way that these people market to you guys? Like, is there one that got you early, like in the beginning of your journey, that like resonated with you a lot? That you're like, whoa, that shit looks good. Because for me, it was definitely FOMO, like fear of missing out. It was like, either kind of two things. It's like, oh, this is a limited edition thing. You're gonna miss out if you don't. And now we know, that's.
Is there any specific product?
I can't really remember each product, if that makes sense. But you see them like all the time, and I think you just see them like every freaking day. To be quite honest with you, especially in the beginning. And then the other one is like you can make $1 million in 3 weeks, like I was just saying before. Yeah. So it's like
For me, it was sorry to cut you off, but like we're all watch dudes here, right? It's like those really aesthetic looking watches. Like before I knew anything about watches, those really got me.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck, this looks really good. Hey, it's only what, $50?
Yeah.
Shit. It looks really high quality.
Yeah.
Algo got me, boys.
You got
Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
I think I actually forgot.
You forgot.
Yeah, I forgot.
Sorry,
That's right.
man.
That's right.
She has. Is there?
Oh, I know. It was about the drop shipping stuff. Remember, like back in the old school drop shippers, they used to have those time-based clocks. It was like, mate, you got 10
yes.
minutes. They'll tick down.
Yes.
Then you hit refresh. You got all your time back again.
Yeah.
Dude, that's
stupid.
genius, though.
Dude. And the overuse of emojis
Really?
on their like landing pages.
Yeah.
It just draws this attention to you.
Yeah. Dude, they're good at what they do.
Yeah.
They're really good at what they do. Did you guys have any specific? Is that your specific example? The clocks?
Yeah, the clocks.
Yeah, I gotcha.
It was also like the
Doesn't-
drop shipping
doesn't get
as
me.
well.
But
No, it doesn't get you now, but like,
Yeah.
did you?
she never gets me, son.
Fair enough.
She never got you? At all?
No way.
Let's go.
No way. Nah, but I'm just like that was an evidence of like a really silly one, like the clocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, like we talked about in the last episode, which was the drop shipping. They market it saying, "Oh, you can make 6 figures in a month."
Yeah.
Passively.
Yeah.
Reality is no such thing as passive 6 figures a month.
Yeah.
That shit doesn't exist.
Yeah.
But yeah, like they had the course, and they were showing me, oh, here's how you build your store, and you just need to get people coming to your store, and as long as your marketing is less than how much you sell your product for, and you'll make your money. And it's just on autopilot. So that really got me. I wanted to like make my finances on autopilot,
Mm.
and I realized that it's not possible.
Yeah.
You got to put in the work.
I think another like telltale sign is when if it's an investing course or whatever, and they're saying, oh, you can make 100% per year and all of this stuff, then it's like it's not real. It's not likely you're gonna make that money because like the best investors in the world, they're compounding it around 20%.
Yeah.
Like some of the best investors in the world, they're only making like 15%, and they're billionaires.
Yeah.
If you can constantly make 15% for your whole life, you're gonna be in the top 1% of all wealthiest people in the whole entire world. So if the billionaires are only getting 15 to 20%, maybe 30%, in the case of like Jeff Bezos and these guys, Elon Musk is probably beating it. It's probably like 40% something roughly. If they're marking, oh, you can make 100%, it's not going to be consistent. It's going to be like a one-off sort of thing, and highly unlikely you can even do it once as well.
Yeah, and they do the same thing. They just reverse the numbers as well. It's like instead of saying you get 100% a year, they'll say, oh, you can get you only have to get 1% a day. We can get you 1% a day. It's like if you
That's
work
a
out
lot
the
of
math,
money,
it's
man.
365% a year.
Yeah.
Like that's actually doesn't exist.
Yeah,
for
1% a day. I hate that one.
1% a day is actually a lot.
Yeah, it's so much.
Yeah.
It's like it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So people hear 1% because it's a small number. They attribute like realistic possibility to that 1% every day.
Imagine you compounding at a daily rate of 1%. What's the yearly? It's gonna be. It's gonna be like over 1,000 or something.
Yeah,
it's wild. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
No, it just doesn't exist. It's not possible.
So like after I got stuck in the algo for the dropshipping stuff and learned like all these marketing tricks, I did like hop on this webinar just to like see like what happens, and it's always a free webinar, right?
Oh yeah.
And this guy was again selling a dropshipping course, but like I knew at this time I just wanted to see like the psychology behind it, right?
Yeah.
And this guy, like, I literally spent an hour in this webinar, and he said at the end, he'll give like some free value, something for free, right? And then during the whole webinar, he was making you fearful. He was actually fear mongering. He was like, oh, imagine the health of your family deteriorates. You'll need this course in order to get your finances sorted to help them out. So it was like fear mongering to make you buy his course. And then on top of that, I get to like I was really curious to see like at the end, what is the free shit that he's going to give? Never gets to the end. It just crashes.
What?
It just stops.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you think that was on purpose?
Maybe.
Fuck.
But like I was there. I was just chilling there waiting for the end, and never came.
Dude,
that's free webinar, boys. I think he was betting on people buying the course before getting to the end.
Yeah.
Because of that fear mongering.
Yeah, that's really dangerous. People are hurting already.
Yeah.
So to like add, the fear mongering on top of people who are already in pain, like it's only for a lot of people it's only natural. If you don't like, what happens when you're scared? When you're angry, when you're in an emotional state, your IQ drops. So they're always trying to get you into that emotional state. So
that's that pain point, right?
Yeah. And they get you into that emotional state, your IQ drops, and then your decision making obviously deteriorates. And it's very easy for you to pull the trigger on something because you're like, oh, that'll fix my fear, the emotion that's going through me right now. That'll fix the pain. The reality is it's actually going to make it worse.
Yeah, I think something that's actually got me is like more sophisticated. I'm just starting to notice is not the scammy marketing. They're doing marketing correctly, like very like it's just in the back of a video, or influencers are showing like their new desk setup, like in this case, and they're showing like the one that almost fell for was there was this company, that beautiful website, nothing scammy about it, looked very elegant and all of that, and they had these very sophisticated felt mouse pads that are really long. I'm just like, oh, this actually looks sick, and it's like it was a decent price, $50 including shipping, all of that. So seems pretty good, and they were talking about like what's so good about it that has these little dots on the underside that keeps it in place and all of this, and then it has the logo. And I don't like having like logos on my things, so I want to advertise their stuff. But it had a logo, and that's where I went, oh, I don't want to have the logo on my desk because I don't want to have my eyes like looking at distractions. And then I'm just like, all right, what's the odds this exact same thing is on Amazon just without the logo?
Yeah.
And I checked, and it was there. the exact same one, exact same dimensions and everything. And I can see they only just put the logo on it and they marketed it beautifully.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, far out. I just saved $20, and now instead of it getting shipped from the US, I get it shipped. Yeah, it comes tomorrow with Amazon.
Yeah,
like I'm now just like thinking, what else are they getting me on?
Yeah,
you know. Yeah, that's why now whenever I see a branded product from an online website, always check Amazon first. Like,
the trend is definitely changing into, that better form of marketing or marketing, like the truer marketing. But it's just like it seems like they just take smaller margins. As in, like, they don't try and blow it out so big. They make it as realistic as possible. But if you actually knew how much that place, whatever it is, the mat thing, what it costs $1.50, $1.50 or $2 or some shit to make.
Like, I don't know.
In manufacturing, it's not expensive.
Yeah.
So selling it for $50 with a logo on it, like they're making a ridiculous margin anyway.
Yeah, huge.
Same with like exact same concept. Same with gaming chairs.
Oh yeah, gaming chairs.
Like so all these streamers use this like racing style gaming chair. It's like not even comfortable, right? I thought it was comfortable before doing some research into it, and then I did some research and realized this is the worst shit. Like it is the worst shit. People like literally compared like if you're going for comfort for long periods of sitting, you actually want to get like a different style, not the racing style. And then they actually showed me most of these gaming chairs actually get manufactured in the one factory in China.
Yeah,
it's in like one specific place where most of this shit's made.
Yeah,
right. And they even like did the numbers on it where it's like $75 to actually produce it, and you can literally put on any sticker you want. And then these guys go sell it for like $400, $500.
Yeah. Something that I've noticed is like the gaming chairs, they're a little bit better than a standard cheap chair at IKEA or whatever. But if you spend that same amount of money, then all the chairs are the same. But then what I've realized is to find the good shit, you have to find it. If it came to you in marketing, it's never the good shit.
Yeah.
So like, like with the chairs, like there's like Herman Miller and like these
Steel
brands.
Series.
Yeah. The Steel Case. Yeah.
Steel Case. Yeah.
Yeah. Steel Series is the gaming brand for the mouses and stuff.
Yeah,
it's like you got to look, and it's like a journey of trying to find the good stuff. It's a journey of like mastery, or like a little hack is like, what chairs does Facebook use in the office place? Or Herman Miller. Oh, okay. Now that's the good shit. Why are they not using the race chairs? Because they're cheap. And then really rich, wealthy people, they can see like where you are on your journey of like finding high quality things, like objects. And it's not about the objects. People get it confused. Oh, this person has these really expensive chairs. No, it literally feels way better, and you don't get any back pain anymore and all this stuff. And then, what's that actually worth? It's worth a lot of money.
So it's little 1% ads, right? You add little 1%ers all the time.
Yeah.
Just optimizing to the best of your ability. Why do you think maybe... apologies, microphone. Is the marketing for these companies who have better products, is it not as good, or is the marketing for the shit products just so... it's like on steroids? They just spend more money on marketing than the actual product. So they just have more to actually put towards that.
I reckon that's a good question. I reckon it comes down to Elon Musk's thoughts on marketing, where originally he was saying he doesn't want to spend any capital on marketing. He wants that to all go back into the product and then allow it to spread word of mouth.
Yeah.
Ideally, you would want both, but if you had to choose one, shitty product, really good marketing, or really, really good product, no marketing, you could always go the second one.
100%.
But now, like probably the third level of company which is about to start coming out is like combining both.
Yeah.
And you can see like Elon Musk, he doesn't really spend much money on marketing, but he's putting in a lot of bloody sweat equity on Twitter and all of that.
He himself is the marketing.
Yeah. So he's just equitying it into existence now to boost it. But I actually don't know. He might have a reason. I don't see why. Obviously he probably has an answer. There's not a good ROI on the marketing anymore, like videos and on YouTube and stuff.
Competitions at an all-time high. His time himself is probably is probably not the best use case.
Yeah.
That's an interesting question.
It's a good question.
Maybe like the crazy example when you were talking about the watches before,
Mm.
like the watch that always comes is like the Movement brand.
Dude, that got me for so long.
many times. Yeah.
For so long. I was
Yeah.
so pissed when I found out.
Yeah.
Like I said, I get done by a little bit because it's
Because you like
not so much
you
anymore,
like
but
the
previously.
jewelries and accessories and that kind of stuff, right?
Oh,
Those
I'm
are
like,
really-
fuck, that looks like the good shit.
Yeah, but they
And then it's on
market
my
those
wrist.
a lot.
Mm.
They market those products a lot.
Yeah, they're fucking good.
Yeah. But yeah, like the story is with the Movement products, like probably everybody's heard about a Movement watch.
Yeah.
It's because they know what designs you like.
Yeah,
Like everybody, like the trend right now is minimalism, like not over the top shit. So everybody likes the same thing, right? And that's probably like a good thing to talk about as well. Is like you can think, oh, I'm fashion forward and all of this because I like minimalism. It might actually be that we're actually being brainwashed by the whole industry to think you think that, but you're just getting caught up in it. So if you're into those Movement watches, I'm sorry to say to you, that's a red flag. Like you really don't know anything about this stuff. But yeah, it's these watches are straight out of China, out of sweatshops, where they're the lowest quality watches in the world. And if you actually look at them, like the reason why watches are expensive is because they should last your whole life. And then they're lined up perfectly. Like the 12 o'clock's actually in the right place. If you look at the Movement watches, they're always off. Or there's dust inside everywhere. Or there's a little scratch there, like on the underside. The logo's off a little bit because you can see they just stuck it on. You can see a little bit of glue there.
And then they sell them for $250.
And then they market it compared to a Rolex. This is the same quality as a Rolex. And
come on,
dude, we've seen influencers do that, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. They must be paying them good.
Huh?
They must be getting paid.
Yeah, well, that's their game, right?
Yeah.
Their game is to get paid
Yeah.
to market. I don't know. I think it's a bad reputation play. You start marketing like really just shit products.
Like for example, like with the watches, like one of our favorite brands is Seiko. I have not seen any ads for Seiko at all. Like you told me again, word of mouth, and then I seeked it out. I think that's the sign of a good product. Like you were saying.
And the thing with the Seikos are like they're at the same price point as Movement. But you're actually in the high quality stuff where the Movement stuff is massive margins straight out of China, sweatshops. It's all plastic and stuff. It's going to break in 2 years. But a Seiko watch is like, in terms of quality, like will it break and all that stuff, it's just as high, like very similar to a Rolex. So you get that diminishing returns, around like that $300, $500 mark. And then it's just status after then.
It's really like a trick marketers use is like they crack on an expensive price to make something feel premium or look premium, so that they can justify charging that kind of that price, and they build an entire brand around being a premium, high quality brand. And the reality is, they're just scamming you.
Like we were talking about our new bicycle shorts brand called Red White, out of Singapore, and on Black Friday sale, they sent out an email saying, "Hey, sorry guys, we can't reduce the price because it's already a fair price. If we reduce it, we're not going to be profitable."
That's actually really good marketing.
That's
actually really good marketing.
So good.
Yeah.
Some people would hate that because they expect Black Friday sale, everything to be cheaper. But I think people who appreciate business, appreciate reputation, appreciate good quality.
This is good
that makes
quality.
sense. I've always liked the idea of not having discounts and stuff like that. Because like if you use the Jeff Bezos Amazon model of trying your best to lower the price all the time,
it's already the lowest can be.
Already low. So I don't. I like that. And what that the guy who owns Red White, it's just one guy.
It's mainly like one guy. I just love it because it's always his face on every piece of marketing. Seems like he's doing a million things, designing the products, sending out emails.
He's probably getting us with a little bit of marketing there. But you know what? I appreciate it.
He has a good product and he's not being greedy with it.
It's the same price as the competition. It's not outrageous.
Nice.
We use it every day.
Absolutely.
But like speaking of high prices, I think one thing that's like a really touchy subject at the moment is like art and NFTs. And a lot of people are getting caught up in NFTs, right? Like you'll hear stories of, recently some guy in the metaverse bought a yacht, a pixelated yacht for 650 grand.
Mm.
That's ludicrous. Like you can literally buy a real house with that kind of money, but it's status at the end of the day. And if you price something very high, then obviously people are going to perceive it as a high value.
Yeah.
So that's one trap that you shouldn't get caught into.
Like Naval says, you don't want to be playing those social status games. You don't want to be, showing off with your car and your house and all of this stuff because, or buying, like, how many people have a Rolex, but they can't afford the Rolex?
Yeah.
Like, what do wealthy people say? They want it like 1 week of cash flow for them to buy a Rolex. So if you're making like 30 grand, 50 grand a week, then you buy like the Rolex. Or you can buy that thing and it's going to lead to more business, lead to more income.
Yeah.
Then you buy it.
It's an investment.
But if you're just buying it because look at me, I've got a bloody Rolex, or
you have to know it's going to lead to leads as well, not just buy it and be like,
can't be lying to
justify. It might lead to leads.
Like, do you actually have a business to, lead it to?
Yeah.
People buy a Rolex and then start a business.
Jay-Z says if you can't buy it more than once, then you can't afford it.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I thought that was a really good point.
I reckon for us, we should say like roughly around the 1% rule.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, you should be like not more than 1% of your net worth at max.
Yeah, I think when you're playing social status games, like you're valuing the wrong thing. Like, you're valuing other people's like opinion of you,
and that's not true happiness.
Yeah, it's got nothing to do with happiness, right? It's just what do you think about yourself?
Yeah.
If you need those things to impress people, man, imagine having a conversation like Weekend and just like actually adding value to someone. That's what is impressive.
Yeah. But man, those influencers, they're getting ruthless these days. I feel like they're just pushing the bar. Like, do you remember like 5 years ago or so, or maybe it was a little bit more than that, where we were just watching Casey Neistat, and at that time, it was weird to release your own merch.
Yeah, yep, 100%.
Like it was always looking like a money grab if you released your own merch, and that's what he said on many videos. He's not releasing merch because it will ruin his like long-term branding.
Absolutely.
And then everybody started doing merch and all of that. I don't think it's bad, but a lot of people were doing really low-quality stuff where they just chuck a logo on it.
Yeah.
But then people started to get away with more and more and more, and now what do we see? Like people are pumping stocks and, well, not really stocks, mainly really shitty cryptocurrencies and NFTs in their stories, these influencers. They've gained trust from their audience for like 6-7 years, maybe longer. And now they're willing to risk that. That reputation and that influence is a massive asset. You never want to destroy your one, it's the golden goose that lays
the hand that feeds you.
Yeah. Why would you want to kill it?
Yeah. That makes
Keep it alive.
We see it on TikTok, and I think TikTok's a massive app that a lot of people are using. So, like, if you're on TikTok and you're seeing influencers pump these shitty coins, like, get this one now. You have to go and get it right now because you're at 0.000000001 cent. If she goes to $10, you're going to be a trillionaire.
$10.
That's not even close to math.
And the thing that I hear like a lot personally is like, oh, Dylan, have you heard about this project or whatever? When I bought in, I'm already up 5 times my money. And when I heard this influencer talk about it, he's already up 10 times his money. And it's like, we're making money. That means it's working. And it doesn't mean it's going to continue to work. Just because you've made money on something does not mean it's going to be a good investment for the next guy. Because eventually, it's like, there's going to be, like, the only thing that dictates price is supply versus demand. Right now, there's more demand coming in. So price keeps going up. Eventually, someone's going to want to sell and use that in real life. It's probably going to be the influencer. Yeah. If not the influencer, it's probably going to be the guys that made the coin.
Yeah.
And they're going to sell out. And then who's going to be left holding the worthless bag?
Or in margin call, what do they call it?
When the music
a bag
stops.
of odorous excrement.
Yeah. Like, really clarify, these influencers and the people creating the coins, a lot of the times they're actually doing this just so they have liquidity, or they have enough, other people buying so that they can sell.
That's right.
They're literally setting you up so that they can get off their bags and make money. Like they're creating their own, vehicle to get out of the market. through marketing. And like, I'll definitely argue right now that that's a shit way to make money. Like, you are a bad human being if you're doing that. But it is happening, and a lot of people are getting stuck in that. So it's
maybe like briefly we'll talk about like the actual buying and selling. We'll go into more detail when we talk about finance, but like it's called a market for a reason, right? If you go to like a normal supermarket or like a normal farmer's market, you're buying some vegetable, you're buying it off of someone. You're doing the same shit with, crypto, stocks, and all that kind of stuff. Whenever you're buying something, someone has to sell it to you. So when we say, these scammy coins are going up in value, and when we talk about liquidity, we're talking about, are you going to be able to sell your stuff and get out without losing your money?
Every single one of these shit coins is essentially, there needs to be one extra person in front of you to take your bag off you.
Yeah. So is anyone going to be able to buy it off of you?
The loser's always the next person who's willing to buy, who gets caught in the hype.
Yeah.
And you want to hope that there is one more person to take the bag off you. Because when this shit goes to zero, or when in margin call, when the music stops, you're fucked.
And that's the thing, is like, these guys, the biggest people in the world, a lot of them, they manipulate the media as well to create more hype. So like when Bitcoin was really cheap, when we were buying years and years ago, the narrative was Bitcoin's only for people that use drugs and, money laundering and all this shit, right? That's when you're supposed to buy the Bitcoins. That's when you're supposed to load your bags up. Then once they say, mate, it's going to change the whole bloody world and the price has already skyrocketed, that's when you need to start selling some of it, taking some profits out. But now everybody funnels in at the wrong times.
Well, and like, the unfortunate thing is, like, we look for that. As in, like, when people are funneling in, we call ourselves relatively the smart money, if that makes sense. We're trying to not be in at those times. So it's
and just the hard thing is, like, as the price is going up, we're selling out little by little by little by little as it goes up. And it's always that greed that sets in, but if I didn't take profits, I could have made more money. And that's how the market gets you. It screws with your mind.
Well, we've learned that firsthand as well.
We have.
2017 crypto crash. Like, we didn't perform well. We lost all of our shit.
We lost 6 figures each.
So, like, this is one of those experienced warnings, if that makes sense. It's not just, the literature. So.
And like, especially like right now with crypto, when it's in a bull market, you may not be able to have the self-awareness to feel your own emotions. Like, it's very difficult. Even, like us, we've been in the game for so long. It's very hard. And sometimes, like, when greed sets in, it's not like you're greedy and looking to make money everywhere, but it's just like you're a little bit more optimistic than usual. And that optimism sends you away from being a solid rock, like a stoic. Because you want to be a stoic and think level-headed. As soon as you feel a little bit of optimism start setting in, that's when you start potentially making some worse decisions. And then that's how it gets you.
Absolutely.
So it's always got to be careful with that. Whenever you're super happy, your IQ will drop, your decision making will go down. Whenever you're super sad and depressed, if something happens in your personal life, we hope it never does, but it probably eventually will. Don't be making financial decisions because your IQ just ain't there.
Absolutely. And in regards to like being scams or buying products in general, like I've stopped buying anything after like midday or something like that. Just don't buy products. I don't buy anything on the internet after midday, especially at night. I'm more susceptible to doing it just because this is more unfortunate.
So what's the whole thing with like the time based? So why not nothing after lunch?
So the later in the day it gets, the lower my willpower and clarity to think gets. And that's just because I'm using my brain throughout the day. I'm consuming information, we're having meetings, etc., etc. So the lower my ability to think gets, the worse my decisions become. Meaning, especially at night time, midday maybe a touch too early, but especially like once we're having dinner and stuff like that, I'm not buying any products.
Willpower's down, easier to get convinced. Same as like when we talk about like, with the willpower podcast, we're saying like, hey, anyone, can follow their diet in the morning, but at nighttime they're eating KF, Kentucky Fried. that might be not only because their willpower's down, but actually it's referring to this marketing too.
Yeah.
You would have heard something on the radio about fucking nice juicy chalk.
Oh,
for
yeah. Oh.
you know, and then you start hearing that, you know, what do they do? Fresh. You know, all these things just start popping
Finger
up.
licking good.
Yeah, finger licking good and all these, you know. And they spam that shit at night time. They're not spamming those ads in the
That's
morning.
a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Dude, you're not getting you're not getting a KFC ad at 9 a.m.
And then they have this one ad that they keep repeating. I don't care. I love it.
They just let you justify it so easily.
Yeah.
Dude. But they are literally the best.
Yeah.
Like these companies and influencers and people, they know what they're doing. They're so fucking good.
But on that note, Kentucky, if you guys want to sponsor us, we'll leave an email down below.
Dude, but when does Kentucky get us?
No.
It always gets us after we've gone for a bike ride that's too long.
Oh,
Because our willpower is
yes.
screwed.
Yes.
When we go on a 4 or 5 hour bike ride,
Yeah.
that's when they get us. If we go on a 1 hour bike ride, we eat healthy. We go 5 hour and our willpower's at all time low.
sometimes it's our fault though because we go 3 hours in and someone goes, "Oh, I'm feeling Kentucky,"
Mostly
and then
Dylan.
everyone just goes,
Mostly
"Hey."
Dylan. Let's be honest here.
No, but this is training for us to build our willpower up.
I'm the one saying no. I don't want a Kentucky.
And then you eat the Kentucky.
The other day, you gave me 3 pieces of Kentucky. I'm like, I'm doing fasted cardio, man.
She just turns up somehow. But the minute
The other day, so you got me sushi. I was like, hey, we're gonna eat I'm gonna break the fast anyway. Let me just get sushi. It's relatively healthy. And then these boys get Kentucky. This is like after a bike ride. No, midway bike ride, right?
oh, don't say midway, bro.
No, we stopped for a bit. We were riding pretty hard, to be fair. And then I'm like, great. I'm just gonna have my sushi and I'm done. These boys, they give me chips. They give me chooks. Like they just keep filling up my container with food with Kentucky. I'm like, I can't finish this shit.
Did you finish it?
Yeah.
We got it, boy.
No, but the thing is, like, maybe this is a good time to clarify. Like, a lot of the things that we do is because we're in a different stage of life now.
Yeah.
We've got, 6 figures of assets each that pays us a certain amount every year by doing nothing that will cover all of our expenses in life and plus some more. So that's where we're at. So sometimes it's just for fun.
Shits and giggles.
We're just like, fuck it. We'll go large.
Yeah.
We just spend more money. It's just an easy laugh.
Yeah.
So it's just like buying a little bit of happiness.
Yeah.
It's jokes.
Yeah.
It's
just-
jokes.
I know.
'Cause
I'm aware of it.
You said you wanted 3 chips, so I poured half the fucking thing. And then, a little piece of chicken. Dylan gives him a whole
Plus
fucking
gravy.
chook.
Yeah. But yeah, it also comes down to like, growing up in a middle class family or like where we couldn't afford certain things. We could always not have that, not have
100%.
this, not have that. So we want to train that out of our mind. We can have whatever we want in the world as long as we work for it. We can get it.
Good point.
And like even with our bike rides, we should probably clarify, we're always showing our bike rides. That doesn't mean you should be doing bike rides as much as we do every single day.
Yeah.
There's a time, if you're at the beginning, you should be spending most of it into work to accumulate money and invest it properly and all that, accumulate knowledge. But, sometimes we go a little bit too much, doing this stuff.
Yeah.
But we've worked hard for it. We
Yeah.
deserve it now.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a different part. We're already 6 to 9 years in the game.
Yeah.
So it's been a while.
Yeah. That is right. What else we got on here, boys?
I think we covered most of what to watch out for, but maybe we could touch on what is going on, the psychology of the people selling you these shitty products.
As in the person themselves.
Yeah, the person themselves who's marketing it
Yeah.
for you. What would they be thinking? And most likely the case is their pain point is the same as what they're trying to sell, which is finance. So they're trying to get their finances sorted by selling you a course. And then just how I was trying to get my finances on autopilot, they're doing the same thing. So they're doing it out of desperation, which is why they're willing to compromise on the value that they're willing to sell people on. Versus, our model, which is invest first, build up that side investment where, it's giving you money every single year, like 20% returns every single year, and then start a business, or like think about starting a business where you don't have to depend on that money. You can purely focus on providing the best product or best value. A lot of people don't do that because they don't have that defense.
I think you always want to operate from places of strength,
Yeah,
as much as you can. And when you're making decisions or doing anything from a place of like, oh, I've got no money, and then you're making financial decisions, it's inherently going to be emotional, right? It's like you're trying to fix that one problem, especially like we live in a world, as Dylan was saying previously, of trying to just do everything by finding that one answer or, the quick tip to success or something like that. So like having a course that promises to fix those problems, it's really intoxicating, right? To get that. But you're right, it's the exact same game the other people are playing who are selling the thing. They're trying to get themselves into a better financial position. But if you can invest and invest and invest for a few years and just build up that nest egg, so it's giving you that 20%, then you can make decisions from really a strong point of view. If you want to pursue dropshipping after you have your investments, I'm going to argue it's a terrible idea, but you're going to be able to make better decisions regardless. Right?
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
So I think people just maybe have it a little bit backwards. They try and use those quick tips or the one thing to success to try and get themselves out of those things. When the reality is you have to put your head down, get cracking and work hard and work and think really, really smart about the decisions you're making.
Yeah. And it's probably just like right now, it's just sexy to sell. You have to be an entrepreneur. You have to be a business owner.
Yeah.
But like go back and read Rich Dad Poor Dad. It's all about investing. It's all about having more assets than liabilities. That's the main thing. And then he hints at saying something just as good as investing is business as well. And he kind of puts it like at the same, he has those quadrants and all of that where they're at that same level. But I would argue like it's better to go down the investing route first, like you're saying, because you got money. You can use that money. You can think better with that money. But also, if you learn investing first, what are you actually doing? You're studying great case studies of businesses. What is Amazon? What is Google? What is Facebook? How does it work? And then you're getting business knowledge in. Yeah. So then when you go to make your own business, it puts it all into bloody perspective because you're like, I've researched 1,000 different companies, 1,000 different businesses. And now when I go to do my business, I can just apply all of that that I've learned.
Yeah,
and then it's way better because a business usually takes more capital than a small investment. You can invest $50 into an asset and then research about it first before you put that money in. But the money you can lose is smaller than starting the big investment.
Yeah. And in the beginning, when you don't have those investments, you have to get it right. Because we've seen people spend or Sam, in your example, right? Like you already had your investments. Imagine if you just spent $15K in the beginning on trying to make that business work.
I'll be way more desperate.
You'd be screwed still.
Yeah. I would want to make that because I pivoted. Remember that?
Yeah.
I was able to pivot because I was able to think more because like I had these investments on the side. So I was like, this is not my main thing. I'm just trying to learn here.
Yeah.
But if I didn't have my investments on the side, then most likely I would try to make that initial first thing work and then gone deeper into that hole and spent more money.
Absolutely.
That would have, been really bad.
Yeah, sure. So
because it's like when you're first starting from zero, like your first $10,000 is just so important. You need that one to work, and then each 10,000 above that is really important. Once you hit $20,000 of assets, it's really important. 30,000, it's really important. 40, then all the way to 100. And once you got the 100 there, that should be enough to offset most of your bills, so then you can think properly. And it relates to like what Charlie Munger always says, like, the first 100,000, it literally is a bitch. Like it's so hard to get your hands on that first 100,000. But once you got that army of investments working for you, because money never sleeps, these investments, they never get tired. Compared to us, we do get tired, it's just so important to have that big 100 grand to back you up.
We speak about Naval's principle of winning and lose, win-lose games in regards to, the people who are actually selling these products. They're playing what Naval calls a win-lose game where, the person who is selling the product, they are winning because they're getting the money, but the person they're selling it to is losing because they're actually not getting any value.
Yeah.
Right. And that's a really bad way to do business because you're just taking, it's amoral, it's really just bad in general, but like there's no longevity in that type of business. Like you will lose out eventually. The business you want to look at is win-win. You know, something like Amazon, where they're producing so much value for, you know, the consumer, and then they're getting a little bit back as well, because obviously they're getting paid for what they provide. So, do you guys have any points there? Or was that pretty?
Yeah, maybe you can relate it to Warren Buffett. Like Warren Buffett right now, he's not the greatest investor anymore. Like he was really in his heydays, he was the number one. But right now, he's not the biggest investor. But let's just say, like, he's getting quite old now. Let's say, like, 10, 20 years ago, he lost all of his money for whatever reason. If he went to the marketplace and say, hey, guys, I screwed up. I lost all my money. But because his reputation is so strong that he always was a man of his word, he'll be able to get a few million back instantly on that spot.
Absolutely.
You know, potentially billions. He could raise a couple bill just like that because of his reputation. So your reputation is one of the most important assets you have. You never ever want to ruin it.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Good point.
Yeah. What else we got, lads?
What we got, please?
I wonder if the people like us just being able to refer to the thing. Sometimes it may feel weird for the audience. It's like, why are they referring to something they don't have? They don't have it all down pat. It's like we do this. Like we try and create, you know, the best product for people. So these
tells a nice story.
Yeah, like these things are like we spend hours a week creating this for the audience. So yes, that's what we're doing. Well, when we're like going to the next point and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, the next one, it just relates to like in terms of knowledge. We're in the greatest time in human history where knowledge is so abundant because of the internet. You know, back in the day, it was like who had access to the library, and that library might not have the right books in that library. So it was curated by someone, and do you trust that person that curated that library? Now we can just jump on the internet and have access to any book in the whole entire world, any video, any source of information, and it's practically free. Most of the information is free, or it's relatively cheap compared to what you get. So like, say with me, like when I was learning investing and trading and all of that, I never bought a single course. I knew it was going to be a constant trap to send me down, and I had to find a strategy that worked best for me. So I just, you know, read hundreds of books on all of this stuff, and each book cost, you know, $20. You know, so you got a few $1,000s there spent. And then eventually you build a strategy that suits you as a person, and it's not me individually. I feel like it's just like our generation. That's what I wanted to create, like an investment strategy that works for a whole generation and everybody would get it. That's why we're so heavily investing in tech stocks, and, you know, we're more longer time frame because actually we need to be honest with ourselves. We don't want to do hard work like these day traders where they're trading every day. I'd rather sit back and do no work and make more money than them, and it's possible. But yeah, the thing is, like, now what do we have? We're building out a course where it's just cutting out all of that hard work, and it's real. Like every person that comes and does our course, they actually make money. They actually get money.
And our course is like a one-on-one mentorship.
Yeah.
Like it's, you know, it can be up to 5 days a week or 3 days a week, more often than not, of a few hours, an hour a day, 3 hours, fucking hell, 3 times a week, 1 hour a day.
Yeah.
Actually one-on-one learning each one of our principles for, like, you know, we have clients that take sometimes 6 months. 7 months, 8 months.
Yeah, but we don't leave until they are ready.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's about actually transferring that value over to someone. Because, like, working in this game, we want people to be able to actually make money, you know, and the best form of marketing for what we do is, you know, word of mouth. Someone who's had a really good experience and is making money can go to their friends and say, hey, this worked well.
Yeah. And really, course is the wrong name for our thing, because it's not a PDF, it's coaching.
That's what I was thinking
it's
just
like,
then.
You know, it's like Roger Federer has a coach that trains him up. Roger Federer without the coach would never become Roger Federer. He can't just like hit a wall on the rebound wall by himself and get become a pro tennis player. It's never going to work.
Can you imagine Roger Federer became Roger Federer just hitting a tennis ball at a brick wall?
So we're coaching people to become professional traders and investors. That's what we do, and we're by their side forever. And eventually we have a group chat, and our group chat is only people that have been trained one-on-one, that have got the tick of approval. That these guys are smart, and we're building that out. And it's not very profitable for us in the short term, but long term, it's not about the money. It's not about the short term money. It's about, if we can make all these guys millionaires, then eventually, it's leading back to our goal of hardcore Headstart, that we want to donate $1 billion. We need to create wealth. Everyone else, they complain like, oh, I'm not around. I wasn't born in a rich family. I don't know anyone that's wealthy. We're building it from scratch. We're not having any excuses. And then even coming back to money itself and money incentives, if it was only a business perspective, we want all of them to be super wealthy, because then when we want to raise capital for whatever next business venture we have, imagine we have a business venture that's going to cost $5 million or something, and we don't have the money to take it out of our personal pockets. We can raise it from our true fans, our audience, the team that we've actually built.
They get another opportunity to make money as well. Wins for everyone. We are unfortunately sold out in our trading course at this point in time. So apologies, but we're at our capacity.
And as well, like, people hear about our trading course that we offer and all that. It's not really, like, honestly, this podcast is better than that for 99% of people. Like, the trading course is like, if you really know you want to go deep down into the financial markets. Most people, they don't have it in them.
It's very nuanced.
There's nothing wrong about that.
I think we've said probably no to more people than we've said yes to. Just because, like, what we look at, the very first thing we look at is like personality. It's like, are you actually like the type of person who's going to be a good trader? For a lot of people, it's just not right.
It's not right.
It's very nuanced. So the best thing is just our portfolio. That people can copy for free.
That's a good point about the courses. Like, an average course that's online is like, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it. This is for you, this is for you. But we actually have a vetting process. We sit people down for free and go through, is this actually for you? This product.
Absolutely. But it's like to use Jeff Bezos as another example. It's about adding value and value to consumer, to the customer. So it's like, if we just give you a product because we can sell you a product, you're not actually getting value. You think you are, but you're gonna, unfortunately, if you don't have the right personality, end up not doing it anymore, which is us not doing our job properly.
That's it.
That's it.
Talking about like seminars, these were probably the things that almost got me. Well, they probably got me because I went to one. I went to a few. Me and Sam went a couple times. And the way the seminars work is, they're there to steal your money. They're there to steal your money. They're not here to help you. Every seminar that we've been to so far, they're there to steal your money. So the way it works is they bring in, like, they're going to have like a big guest like Gary Vee or something, like some guy that's going to attract the audience.
Keynote speaker.
Keynote speaker. They're at the end of the day, and you don't know what time they're coming. They're not going to show you the times. They're going to show you a random list of people. These are the guys that are going to be speaking. You don't know the order they're going to be speaking. Trust you. If there's Gary Vee's face on it, he's always last. Right, he's not going first. Then the first two, normally, it's always the first one. First speaker that comes on is actually priming you up to buy. He's actually selling, saying, hey man, if you want to be big in life, you got to work hard. You got to take massive and immediate action now. That's what successful people are about. So they're saying the massive and immediate action now. That's priming you for the scammers when they come on next. Hey man, if you want to be wealthy in life, buy this course. And then they'll say stupid things like, hey, in Sydney, it costed them $20,000, but just for you Melburnians, it's only $10,000 today.
Why is it always $10,000?
Yeah,
like every course is $10,000.
It always goes down to $10,000. And what they do is, those scammers, they provide a tiny bit of clay advice to just get you intrigued. It's like, oh, they've given me something for free. The other guys in your subconscious, like, you got to take massive and immediate action. And then what do they do in the crowd? They say, hey, if you're a winner, go and run to the back of the room now. You've got 5 minutes. There's a fucking clock that comes up. 5 minutes, 4, and then I would suspect they pay the first couple people to run.
I reckon.
100%.
And they run, and then you're watching everybody jump out of their seats. They run into the back of the room. They're signing on the dotted line. And me and Sam have calculated some boys have made $1 million in commission in the 1 hour.
Yeah.
Like it's like crazy. Like
you guys actually experienced this firsthand, right?
Yeah, this was at the Gary Vee one.
Yeah.
There were like 7 people before Gary Vee came on,
Mm.
and then like they do the scammy courses and shit. Give us like a speech, tell people to run at the back, buy their course. I think they say in the next 5 minutes, I'm gonna take 50% off my course.
Oh yeah.
And then they get a few boys to run at the back,
Mm.
and then the next person comes on, and then eventually Gary Vee comes on, and he's like, "I'm not here to sell you shit."
Is that what he said?
Yeah,
Okay, I was gonna
he
ask.
roasts like everyone that comes on
Yeah.
before him.
Yeah.
I'm not here to sell you shit like these guys. Yeah.
But even like when we went to Tony Robbins, he had another course.
Mm.
Tony Robbins was the key guy, and then he had a course as well.
See, that's the thing. Like with you can't really tell.
Mm.
It's hard to tell who's trying to sell you a course because, like, again, Tony Robbins is such a reputable person. He's been doing this for many years.
Yeah.
And then boom, out of nowhere, course.
Yeah. Were you there when we had that gold trader? He was trading gold.
No, I don't think so.
So I was here with this guy. He was like saying, "Oh, I went into the Federal Reserve or whatever, where they store their gold, and here's me, and there's a photo of him because you can like go down there and check it out and all this shit."
Wait, so he was showing you his gold?
No, it's just like the fucking Federal Reserve's gold or something.
Okay.
Yeah, so like some institution's gold.
No one's
Right,
allowed
he's in there.
Fort Knox.
Yeah.
Fort
Oh no,
Knox.
you can actually take tours. So he just took a normal tour
To see the gold.
Yeah.
The actual gold.
Yeah, like
Isn't
it's a
that in Fort Knox?
tourism thing. I'm not sure which one it was, but
Yeah.
it is a tour. I'm pretty sure it's the Federal Reserve. You can just pay to go down,
Oh, okay.
and they do
Okay.
it with schools and stuff like that as well.
Fun.
And yeah, so like he's showing like the photos with him, and then he's got photos with celebrities. So that's what they always do. They always pay
Yes.
the celebrities for
Yes.
photos.
Yeah.
Oh, I know John Travolta and all
Yeah.
this stuff. So now they're like, I'm around all this gold, which anyone can do, right? And it's a thing that people just don't know. And then, oh, I've got a photo with a celebrity, which anyone can do if you pay them enough money too.
Mm.
And then he'll give you a little bit of advice about gold, and they'll come up with this silly ratio and use big words and sophisticated English. Oh man, there's this gold to silver ratio. Whenever gold is 3 times the price of silver, then that means gold is too expensive and silver is undervalued. So that's when you got to buy some silver. And then it's like, man, this guy's providing me information. He's got me a fucking indicator, and he's got me all this good shit.
He just said nothing.
Yeah, he said nothing. But you know, you can absorb it, and you know, we were very young at the time, and we had strong minds, and we're always very skeptical people. But imagine you're not skeptical.
Yeah.
And the sad reality of their audience is really sad. They're all like 50 to 60-year-olds that have been wiped clean.
Mm.
And they're the weakest people that are most vulnerable in society. They're stealing their money. And there's always got stories as well, like, hey, use credit cards. Your best investment is always yourself. And it's just like, man, this is so bad. This is definitely win-lose.
Which we chat on that, like, that's actually right.
Mm.
Your best investment is yourself.
Yeah.
But they have a different meaning to us entirely.
Yeah.
They're using that as a marketing ploy to strip you of all your cash.
Mm.
Yeah.
You know, actually investing in, you know, books and, you know, maybe YouTube Premium.
Yeah.
Because it's going to skip ads and stuff like that. That's the good stuff to invest in yourself with. But yeah.
There's this like really stoic quote. You would rather have people fear you than love you because you can control the fear.
Yeah.
You can control people under fear. And that's what they're doing. Like they're putting that fear inside you. Oh, this is you're not going to be wealthy otherwise. Your finances are going to be fucked. Your family's health is if what happens if your family gets sick? How are you going to provide for them? Hey, I'm giving you an opportunity to help your family with my course.
Yeah.
They're always better, aren't they?
And
Yeah.
they always have like a mentorship story at the beginning as well.
Yes.
Oh, I was down here and I was, you know, I was low life and all of this, and then this guy saved me, and then I'm being this guy to save you.
Yeah.
And then they always use massive English, all these sophisticated, silly words, so no one actually knows what's being said. And then they always have a suit on. They always have like a nice pinstripe suit on, just so they look, you know,
Nice and proper.
yeah.
Mm.
But
Like the
it's-
authority figure.
yeah. It's all bullshit.
Yeah.
You know what? I was watching, speaking of suits, I was watching this IG reel from Gary Vee, and this was about 7 years ago. Gary Vee was about to give a keynote, and they weren't letting him give a keynote because he was wearing sneakers and like he wasn't wearing a suit.
He's wearing
They
jeans.
they weren't letting him on stage.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. Everyone was
go
wearing
on anyway?
suits. He went on anyway.
But they like, so it's in like a hotel kind of thing. Like, it's
Yeah.
a big establishment. They
Oh,
literally
yeah.
would not let him go out of the lobby.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The security guy was stopping. I'm like, dude, I'm literally speaking for the hotel, mate. Like, what are you doing? I'm the keynote speaker here. Oh, sort of mind. There's rules.
Dude, if that was me, I would have done a Burt Kreischer. Got me gut out.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. You want me to wear a suit?
Dude,
I'm going to take my top
Dude,
off.
we should do a podcast where you just take your top off. Episode 100. Stay tuned, guys.
Oh shit.
Um,
So I guess the last one is the filter we use.
the
for-
good old. He's a good boy. You want to talk about him?
Oh, you can talk about it.
You want to talk about him?
You can talk about him.
Me? All right. So a good filter that we use is Coffeezilla.
I'll never forget. These guys paid $12,000 each to sit in that chair.
$12,000. I got very upset watching the video we're about to watch together. Actually, angry. I might start just shouting. It's a pitch! It's a pitch!
We've talked about him before. He's this YouTuber, internet detective, one of the best that probably the best that we've come across. Like, super unbiased, really thorough with what his research is. And he's always putting out content like every single day. And giving you like insider information of all these people promoting whatever. He's looking out for scams, basically. He's a really good scam checker. And what we found was, we looked up to certain people that we thought were legit. And then as soon as they appear on Coffeezilla, that's it, boys. GG, game over.
Like we were saying before, a lot of influencers or just some of our heroes previously, they say a little bit of the truth. So you get a little bit of that truth, and then you start trusting them. And it's until the entirety of the picture is actually unveiled that you're like,
I think a good example is actually Rich Dad Poor Dad. The book is awesome. The Rich Dad Poor Dad. The other books are great in terms of it gives you more reps, and you should read them. But like, there comes a point where he's just saying the same thing with a different title to make more sales, to upsell you again.
Yeah.
And then there's the seminars. And the seminars seem good. Oh, it's Rich Dad Poor Dad. Provided so much value with that book. The book's awesome. It's probably one of the best self-development books of all time. Literally. We love it. But then there's a seminar with a course. And then you got to pay, like, it's very high. I think it's $10,000 or $30,000 for it. And then it can get you there. Can lead to some success for some people, but is it the best way, for everybody? Probably not. And then, how does he sell his stuff? Always saying the stock market's crashing. There's that massive chart that we see on Twitter all the time where stock market's been rising by 10, 15% very consistently since 2008. Only downturn was COVID, but that was only a month, and now we're at all-time highs again, and we're up 35% since the high before COVID. But then there's the chart of him every single 1 year saying, mate, the market's going to crash, buy gold and silver and real estate and all this stuff.
gold was single-handedly one of the worst investments over the last 18 months to 2 years. It performed, let me tell you, personally, it performed terribly. We're in the most inflationary period of all goddamn time.
Yeah.
And gold did nothing. So, point is,
Got a little emotion there.
people
Emotional there.
just for the laughs, please. But yeah, people just, they're trying to scare you into, the world ending.
Yeah.
So that you actually, not being able to think properly, and you take some action, take the wrong action, and get yourself into more pain. Right.
Yeah.
And these are the type of things that Coffeezilla picks up on, and he'll make really good videos about literally from the start. What is this scam? How does it work? Who's behind it? Here's how it's affecting you if you get into it. So, and then he'll never say, do this. He'll just say, do your research.
Yeah.
He'll just say, this is what the information is. Do what you will with it.
Yeah.
right?
You can see a lot of the internet detectives sometimes, like they bring up scams or they connect dots that don't exist, or they just ruin someone's reputation for no reason. But Coffee actually, he offers to the people he's scam checked or cold scams. He offers to bring them on and have a podcast with them and actually talk through it. And he's done that for a few. But when you're scammy, you don't really want more questions, do you? You just want the heat to go away.
Yeah.
But there's a recent video. You want to promote that one? How much does it cost to promote a crypto scam?
Yeah.
It's a pretty good one.
Yeah. Like all of the crypto scams right now, you can see like your favorite influencer, but they're a bit dodgy, man.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to come to terms with the person that you idolize. Yeah. They're a bit questionable. It's happened to us so many times.
Yeah.
And I think just Coffeezilla, what it allows you is it gives you a good sense of reality that a lot of the people on the internet, they're there to take your money, and he just shows it to you in a very understanding way. Like, here's all the evidence, boom. And it's really important to train that scam checking muscle in our minds.
Yeah.
So then we don't get scammed in the future.
Absolutely. I think, he always has the right intention of just finding out like the truth and just helping as many people as possible. Like, I'm not sure if I can actually remember one, but just knowing his personality, if he was wrong about something, he either wouldn't make the video or he'd admit it.
Yeah, I think he would admit it.
100%. He's like that.
Yeah.
He wants the truth and he wants to help people. He doesn't want to just ruin people for no reason.
Yeah, and just anytime you hear fast money, you don't need to put much money in, easy, it's always a scam.
Yeah.
And those trading bots, hey, buy this trading bot. This trading bot it's an AI trading bot that will make money on your behalf. You don't have to do anything.
Quantum computing.
Yeah. As soon as you hear any of this stuff, it's like triggers. Yeah. All right, boys.
I think we hit all the points here, boys. Well done.
Anyone got any other points?
No way, son.
Might need to wrap her up. But yeah, definitely do your work with Coffeezilla. Invest 10 hours of your time into each video.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's worth it. It's really worth it.
Yeah. He'll start like when you go on the internet, watching Coffeezilla will allow you to actually see the problems happening to you every single time. So once you have that part of your brain trained, then you can safely go through the internet.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, Coffeezilla is really, really good for us. But like the scammers are getting smarter now, and they're trying to like outsmart Coffeezilla. So it's like, how do we just not end up on Coffeezilla? That's their thing now. But Coffeezilla gets them every time. He just catches each boy. He just catches them, boys.
All right, boys.
All right, boys, shall we pack it up?
Back it up.
Back it up.
Thank you guys for watching episode number 16. If you guys liked it, please like, comment, subscribe, share it with your friends and family. And on that note,
G will be back next week.
yeah,
See you later, boys.
pack it up.
Good save, bro.